the Soleil performance. Prime Minister Harper will be among the dignitaries on hand, and the games will officially be underway. Here is Toronto Mayor John Tory.
I've bought tickets for the 100-meter sprint. I want to go and see the diving, but it's hard to get tickets, even for the mayor. And BMX, I've never seen that. I think those people maybe should have their heads examined, but I want to go see it.
The Pan-Am Games, with more than 6,000 athletes competing, will run until July 26th. And you can watch tonight's opening ceremonies live on CBC News Network. Emergency officials say the crews battling wildfires in central and northern Saskatchewan are maintaining the protective lines around the key communities under threat. However, they are expecting setbacks today, with the forecast calling for shifting winds and more hot, dry conditions. Meanwhile, in Alberta, part of Jasper National Park has been evacuated because of an out-of-control wildfire in the scenic Moline Valley. 2 square meter blaze is now just 15 kilometers from the town of Jasper. Canada's June employment numbers will be released later this morning, and considering the growing list of recent economic hotspots, most analysts will be watching on with great interest. Here's the CBC's Peter Armstrong.
It's been a startlingly busy week for tumultuous markets. Greece, China, and here at home, at least some economists saying Canada's already in a mild recession. And remember, next Wednesday, the Bank of Canada will decide whether to hike or drop interest rates. So these jobs numbers take on an even more important luster as the bank tries to piece together the puzzle picture that is Canada's economy right now. And of all the indicators, jobs have probably been the most predictably volatile. 6 of the past 12 months have seen gains, 6 have seen losses, seesawing back and forth. And that image of an engine sputtering as it tries to get some momentum is Canada's economy in a nutshell. Now, jobs are, of course, only part of the picture, but none of the data are particularly encouraging. And there's just not the sense among either consumers or companies that Canada is picking up steam. Peter Armstrong, CBC News, Toronto.
We now know what the Greek government has in mind as a plan to save the country's collapsing economy. Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras is looking for another bailout loan worth $75 billion. He says he'll need to reinstate most of the austerity measures the Greek people voted against in last weekend's referendum. Kathy Karasava reports.
Critics are calling it a U-turn, with Alexis Tsipras, the Greek Prime Minister, calling on his ruling Syriza party to sign off on a grab bag of austerity proposals which 60% of Greeks rejected last week in a landmark referendum. The proposals include a new round of tax hikes that would see nearly every product and service, from spaghetti to restaurant bills, taxed by 23%, an increase of more than 10 percentage points from existing rates. Pension ages would also increase, special stipends for the poor phased out, and defense spending slashed by about a quarter of the current budget. The measures look certain to pass. Smaller leftist parties have also vowed to back what they call a bad deal, rather than simply stripped out of the Eurozone. Kathy Karasava, CBC News, Athens.
U.S. officials are now saying a recent cyber attack on the government's Personnel Management Agency affects millions more people than previously thought. The agency says the data stolen includes sensitive information about more than 20 million people who've had background checks for security clearance. That's in addition to the data on about 4 million current and former federal workers. The breach, widely suspected to come from Chinese hackers, is considered one of the most damaging on record. And that is the CBC News.